week, Anuj Singhal travelled all the way to Kerala. He caught up with Porinju Veliyath, who is probably one of the first South Indians in the trading business in Mumbai at his plush farm near Kochi. In this exclusive conversation, Porinju talks about his journey from Kochi to the Dalal Street and what were the key learnings in his early days in the trading ring.
I am born in I would say, a poor family. Here only, I am born and brought up in this place. This place is called Pota in Chalakudy. This is Tricur district of Kerala. And this is where I have been, my childhood I have been brought up. So, a lot of memories. I was in Mumbai later and I came back in '99 to my hometown and I built this house. And this was belonging to us earlier. And I had a lot of passion to this area, the water around here, and the hills there, the paddy fields. So this had been my childhood, and I always remember that, and that's the thing which gives me most pleasure in my life.
Okay, so from Kerala to stock markets, how did you make that journey? Because yes, there are of course a lot of good investors down south, and there's a lot of equity cult in south as well that we keep talking about. But for you from Kerala all the way to Mumbai, how did the journey take place?
In fact, while studying, I had developed some kind of passion for equities. There was a stock exchange in Kochi. So it used to be mostly a gambling kind of place, but it was very interesting to me. And I had developed, I don't know what point of time, while during my college days. And I used to watch the brands, the corporate developments. In those era, there was not much communication around. But still, I used to be very much interested in that. I wanted to develop that. And I found being in Mumbai geographically was very important in that time. And so it was my passion to go to Mumbai and be part of the stock exchange or the stock market that time. So after my studies, and I was working too. In fact, I have been working from my teenage for a living and for my studies. And in 1990, after my studies, and I resigned my small job, and I went to Mumbai. I started my career with Kotak in 1990. I was a floor trader in 1990. I remember on a Murat's day, I started my career in the trading ring.
So you were in touch with Uday Kotak as well in the 90s?
Kotak was very small in those days. Yes. Even the Kotak Securities, which was known as Uday's Kotak, we had a small table space on the 5th floor of Stock Exchange, Mumbai. So it was very small, 5-6 people team. And Uday Bhai used to inquire about the market, what's going on. It was a very funny market in those days, It was an outcry system. Today's generation can't believe what was going on in those days.
Yes. So tell us what used to go on those days.
It used to be, there was no transparency in the system, Anybody can make any stock price to anywhere. Operators or promoters could have manipulated. And there were many MNC companies. So there was a belief, I remember, only MNC companies were good. You can trust the promoters or the management. But many smart entrepreneurs have taken advantage of the India's growth story from that time. And they have built huge. The Kotak itself is the biggest example,
Any interesting anecdote about you and Uday Kotak or those early days that stands out for you, Porinju?
See, I started as a floor trader. A floor trader is nothing, it's a clerical job perhaps. You go and do the deals. It was, I think, Gujarati kind of people. It was their monopoly. Very rarely a South Indian was there in the trading ring. I think I was one of the perhaps first Keralite in the Mumbai trading ring this time. But I enjoyed it. First of all, it is a very good physical exercise, When you trade, you have to go move around. It's a big crowd. There are hundreds of jobbers. You have to identify those people. Your brain has to work. I think I remember the most fascinating thing to me in those days, I remember there were some jobbers, like Arvindam Shah, kind of some people I remember. They used to give you two-way quote for 300, 400 stocks. Wow. The way I used to wonder, I think today nobody can, in today's generation, very few people can do something like that.
And they remembered all that code
Yeah,
of 300,
remember,
400
they remember
stocks?
all the trades, their positions, maybe 300, 400 companies. That was amazing. I still cannot understand how can somebody do that way, you know.
Okay.
That was the market.
Okay, so tell us a bit more about then your journey from being a jobber or a trader to one of the best known fund managers, PMS fund runner. Explain that story to us.
See, I had that determination to learn it, you know. So more than trading on making some money on those things, or making some money using the imperfection of the market, that was one of the best opportunities in those days. A person like me, but my focus was on learning it, how this happens, how these equities, you know, equity as an asset class, how these companies are progressing, the compounding of wealth creation. Using the equities. So these things used to amaze me, and I was so keen on learning it. Of course, this is still a learning process. Nobody is an expert in equities, Anuj, I would tell you. It's a continuous learning process. You have to be humble, looking at the market, the equities, the structure of the markets, it's gone changing, and the opportunities gone changing, the economy cycles. So it is too dynamic a subject, and you know, it is so challenging. And at the same time, I would say, from a value investing point of view, it is too simple also. You know, I always say, you do your arithmetic well, but keep it simple. That's my philosophy of value investing.
And you can catch excerpts of this exclusive conversation all through the day only on CNBC TV 18.